What's up, guys? Welcome back to Mommy Mondays. Hope you guys had a wonderful weekend. I sure did. I wanted to talk to you guys today about, as you guys can see by the title, prioritizing your spouse. So we kicked off the first Mommy Monday official video with prioritizing your self-care and taking care of yourself first, and being intentional and scheduling time for you to regroup. So that's one thing that or one word that you're gonna keep seeing repeatedly in all of my videos, whether it's Conversation Wednesday or whether it's Mommy Mondays or just in anything. It's the word intentional. Everything you do in life, that you have to be purposeful, you have to be intentional. So if you guys don't like that word, you're gonna get sick of it a little bit, because life, you can't just go, I wake up and then I go and I fly by the, what is the thing that they say, by the seam of my pants? I don't know. It's like an American saying. But you have to be intentional in everything you do. And today for Mommy Mondays, I wanted to talk to you about, I don't want to say the second most important thing, but another major important thing in your life is prioritizing your spouse. Yes. You're like, DJ, I have the kids to take care of, I have the house to take care of, I have a career. Now you're telling me I have to focus on my spouse as well? Like, I can't even get a shower in on a good day. Yes, I hear you. I hear you loud and clear. But what I also am here to tell you is that prioritizing your spouse is so important. And I'm not talking about them corny date nights that everybody talks about, which I'm going to plug in my video that talks about my take on date nights, and you're going to hear that same word, being intentional. I'm not talking about, like, date your spouse Saturday or hang out with your husband Friday. I'm not talking about that. I'm talking about intentionally prioritizing your spouse. That knowing for certain that the foundation of your family is your spouse. I often hear moms say, oh, my kids are my number one priority. They should be, to a certain point. But you also have to think that the husband or the spouse or the baby daddy, well, let's not prioritize baby daddies. Let's take that back. But the husband that gave you those kids for you to prioritize is also as important, and if not more, because at one point he was your number one. At one point he was the apple of your eye, the person that gave you butterflies in your tummy. He was your number one. And if he wasn't your number one, then I don't know how them kids came about. But it's being very mindful that you can't get so wrapped up in the daily living and the daily hustle and bustle that you forget the reason why you're even in this, why you're even raising children, why you're even setting a foundation for your life. You don't ever want to lose sight of that. And I know, like I said, it could be challenging, it could be hard, but if anything that you focus on, anything that you think is important, you can figure out a way to do it. So prioritizing your spouse is crucial. You don't want to go weeks and weeks without sex, because ain't nobody trying to do that. You don't want to go, and that's for certain people. Some people go months, people go years. Some people are okay with a sexless marriage, but make sure that your spouse is on board with that. The moral of the story is you don't want to look at your life 15, 14 years down the road, and when the kids go off to college and you're looking at your spouse and you're like, who are you and how did we get here? As you guys know, the statistics on divorce and like divorce and separation and all that stuff, it's like what, 50%, 75% of marriages fail and they end in divorce. And then for blended families or second time marriages, like the statistic is even higher, right? But if you make it a point to prioritize your marriage, to figure out what the other person likes on a regular basis, dating your spouse, it doesn't only happen at the beginning of the relationship. And what I mean dating is that initial point in the marriage or in the relationship where you keep knowing, okay, that point in the relationship most people like view as dating is when they start courting and getting to know each other, right? You don't ever stop knowing your spouse or your partner or the person you're raising children with. That's what I mean about consistently date your spouse, not about like the fancy dinners and dressing up. Is always maintaining that curiosity of caring what's going on with your spouse. I always tell people, especially my clients, you may marry the same person different times because every couple of years somebody changes, somebody evolves, somebody grows something different. You want to always maintain that curiosity and that sense of who are you and what are we doing now. And like I said, you don't want to look down the road a couple of years when you guys have made it and have the picket fence and there's no love in the home and there's no unity and there's no that spark and that drive that made you guys get together to begin with. So that's my take. If you guys want any more tips or any ways to prioritize your spouse, just leave comments below and I would definitely answer and give you more tips. So if you like what you heard, please don't forget to like, share, subscribe, click the notification, all that stuff. So I will talk to you guys later on the next Mommy Mondays. Take care.